Stan Jabalisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV Whiskey 1, Good Vibrations. As part of my winter preparatory regime, I tested my 20-meter vertical antenna the other day, just to be sure that it's still in working order. I've been off the air for some time. It was a nice autumn day, and I got on 20 meters. I connected the antenna, put it up. Can probably leave it up through the cold season now. Doubt there'll be any more thunder showers of note. And I tuned the transmitter into the antenna and found that, in fact, the transmitter had forgotten the automatic antenna tuner settings. It had been so long, but it remembered them after a period of time. The standing wave ratio was 1.5 to 1 on the actual antenna itself, just like it normally is. And so I proceeded to listen on 20 meters. The noise level was S7, the human-made noise level, which is characteristic of this QTH. And the band conditions seemed positively awful, except there were some strong WSJT type signals in their part of the band, and one or two pretty strong PSK 31 signals in that part of the band. So the band was open, it's just that it was nobody was using it, it seemed, on CW, except for one station that I heard fairly loud, a PV, Papa Victor, which turns out to be Brazil, a direct shot for my antenna over clear terrain. So I proceeded to attempt to make a call or two to that station without success with my 10-watt peanut whistle CW station. There was a pileup on that station. I could faintly hear the stateside stations calling, and they were all calling zero beat with that DX signal. Now, my understanding is that experienced DX operators never, ever zero beat the frequency of a DX station, because DX stations tend not to like that. For one thing, if everybody's calling you and they're all zero beat, they're all going to sound the same pitch, and from the standpoint of the DX station, then they have a hard time picking the signals out. It sounds like a bunch of wolves all howling at the same pitch, you know, like howl, all howling at the moon at the same pitch. But my ICOM IC746 Pro has a frequency offset tuning control for receive called Delta RX, and a transmitter offset called Delta TX. So I can independently tune the transmitter or the receiver from the frequency of the other signal. So I zero beated that signal with the tone, the CW pitch. When the CW pitch, side tone pitch, is the same as that of the station you're trying to talk to on that radio, you know you're zero beat with that station if the Delta TX and Delta RX are both set to 0.00. So I switched to Delta TX and then went up 0.25, so 250 hertz above the frequency of the DX station. Everybody else was zero beat. I figured that DX station would then hear me 250 hertz higher than the howling pack of wolves at their frequency. And I thought, because there's such a pileup, you know, with only 10 watts output, you know, to crack a pileup of stateside stations, many of whom are more than likely using the full legal limit, or at least 100 or 200 watts output, with directional antennas like Yagis or quads on 20 meters. I was going to have to compete against this wolf pack. There's no way I was going to compete on their frequency, and it would only, DX stations don't like to be zero beat anyway. So I called 250 hertz higher in frequency, so my pitch, rather than 700 hertz, would be something like 950 hertz, still within the pass band, most likely, of his receiver. That was my strategy, all right? I called him and failed. I called him and failed. All I'd sent was da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da, at 18 words a minute, my standard calling frequency, my calling speed. Just sent my call once, when I was sure that it was okay to transmit. I think on about the maybe 6th or 7th try, I got him. I cracked this pileup with only 10 watts output. The little peanut whistle W1GV beat the great mass of howling wolves stateside. Was that operating finesse on my part or not? I don't know. Was it luck? Probably. But it worked. My antenna works. In that sense, I am ready for winter. In most other senses, alas, there's no way to get ready for winter in Dakota Territory, in the black holes, United States of adverse weather. But you can try. Stan Gibilisco's signing off, saying 73, and until next time, so long, which in CW, of course, translates to da-da-da-da-da-da.